Hello everyone, this is Karen with Creative Paper Artisan, and I am really excited about this tutorial because this is part of a collaboration that I am doing with Rach and Bella Crafts. This is their July collaboration, and I'm just so excited to be part of this. This is my first time being involved with them. They are a really awesome group on Facebook and YouTube, and they're kind of a big deal. So I'm just really excited to be a part of it. So basically, in a nutshell, we were challenged to find a video of some kind of a craft that inspired us, and to kind of take that idea and put our own spin on it, which is so much fun as crafters, right? So not only were we to find a video that inspired us, but also we were assigned a letter, and I was assigned the letter V. So we needed to incorporate that letter somehow into our craft. So I decided for the letter V, I'm going to use vellum in my craft. So you'll see here on this really fun little journal here, I've incorporated vellum on the spine, and you'll see I've also incorporated it in the middle a little bit. I used a little bit more to embellish here. So that's the gist of it. So I will, in the link below, in the description below, I'll have a link to the video that inspired me, and that video was by Helen Griffin UK, and you need to go ahead and watch hers as well. And all of her other videos, she does some great work. So you will also see in the description below the link for Rach and Bella's link tree, and that will be the central place where you can go to watch all of the other collaborators in this project, and see what everyone else did for the whole month of July. And it's just a really, really nice way to see everything, have it all in one central place, and you can pick and choose what you want to see. And I highly suggest that you watch as many as you can, and subscribe and like and support all of the other artists involved in this collaboration. And I believe you'll also be able to get a hold of the pretty kit that was used, that we were given to use for this project. And the kit is called Summer Blooms, I believe. So there you have it. Let me just do a quick little flip through. This is a little mini album, little journal made out of paper bags, believe it or not. All right, so I am going to show you how we made this. All right, stay tuned. Okay, so let's get started on the construction of the book itself, and then we'll get to the fun part of decorating it. So what you will need will be 6 paper bags. And as you can see, I decided to go with the pretty white glossy, they're more like gift bags. You can definitely do paper bag, the regular paper bags. It looks really nice too. But since I will be using vellum for my letter V, I thought it looked really pretty against the white paper. So that's what I'm going to go with. So you'll need 6 bags. I went ahead and trimmed them down because the edges, the way they came, the edges weren't quite even. So I just trimmed them down to a nice even size. I cut these down to 9 inches from here to here. So, but that's completely up to you. You can make them whatever size you want. But I thought that would work best for me. So what we need to do first is we're going to take all of these, and the bottom of the bag here, we're going to fold that over, and then make sure you have a really good crease. Now these are a little bit thicker than regular paper bags, so I have a feeling that the measurements for the spine are going to be different than what yours would be if you use a regular paper bag, but that's okay. And the spine is something that we will actually wait to do until after we've decorated the pages, so that the thickness, that we've just got a more accurate idea of the thickness. But let's get all these folded over and nice and tight. All right. Yeah, these are definitely thicker, but I think it will still work and look nice. Make sure that it's all nice and squared up. You don't want things to get wonky if you can help it. All right. So we've got our six pages or 6 bags. So now what we will do, we're going to match them up like this, okay? This will become a pocket like that. So we want to put glue on these 3 edges, right? So let's do that real quick. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do something. Before we do this, we're going to fold the little flap down on each of those sides. So let me do that real quick to these. Not too late to the game there yet, but it is easier to just do that ahead of time. So let me get these guys done. Okay. Now, before I move on, let me do that to all of these real quick here. Just the little side flap. Okay, there we go. Got ahead of myself. I'm so excited. Okay, so back to this guy. Glue there. Okay, so we made a pocket, matched up those 2 and made a pocket, and my glue needs to dry a little bit more before I start ripping that apart. So I've got 1. We will do that again, matching them up like this. Okay, so now we've got these 3 signatures, so to speak. So let's fold them all up and stack them on top of each other. Okay, just kind of make sure they're generally lined up. See, now this one, the bag itself is a little bit crooked, but I think it'll be okay. If nothing else, we'll camouflage it somehow. I'm not sure if you can see. It's a little bit sticking out, one little fold, but I think we'll just make that work. So, okay. So now what we want to do, I think I will, let me see. Yeah, okay, all right. Actually, I'm gonna use my bone folder and just give it one more good squish down on the spine. Okay, so now we're going to glue these together, but we're going to do it in a very intentional way. We don't want to have the spine like all together like this, like you typically would, because you're going to end up with the alligator mouth, and we haven't even decorated anything yet and filled it with anything. So we're going to accommodate and kind of take that into account. And so what we're going to do, instead of gluing everything down close like this, we will glue these 2 pages together, but I'm not going to put the glue all the way to the end. We're going to leave maybe about that much. Let's see. let me give you, oops, let me give you more exact. I'm going to say an inch. We're not putting the glue all the way to the edge. We're going to put it an inch, into the, or an inch further back, not to the edge. So that's what we're going to do. So let me start about here. Now, so you can see that we're going to have some room to play with here. We've got a little bit of breathing room here, so that when the book is full of things, it's not going to do this necessarily. It's going to do, well, I think some of the glue moved. Let me, I want to give it a little bit more space there. There we go. Okay. So that way, once we put the spine on, it will sit like this nicely instead of like that. Okay. So then this is the trick that really impressed me with this video. I'm like, oh, that's a good trick. Okay. So we're going to leave that there for now. And I went ahead and cut the cover, the chipboard covers, just to save some time. And the size that I ended up with, I wanted to do 1/8 of an inch larger than what this is. So this, I believe, is 5 by 6. Yeah, 6, 5. So I cut these at 6 1/4 by 5 1/4, giving myself just a little bit, 1/8 of an inch border there. So, okay, now I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges, just the edges of the cover, to give it a little bit of a finished look. And if you know me, you know I love inking edges. I'm going to do it on both sides. Okay. That is that. All right, so now I will be gluing this, and I do want it to be kind of flush with the spine, so that it will be, yeah, see, that's nice. That'll be a nice edge. I'm just going to get this all gooped up with glue. I want to make sure that it's wanting to go wonky. It's wanting to go wonky. Don't do it. So it's good to open it up and kind of line it up from this end. And oh, I'm still getting ink on here. That's okay. We'll be covering it up with paper. Okay, I think that works. And then we'll do the same thing. Oh my goodness, look at me. I'm a mess. I am a mess. Okay. Is that inked up good enough there? Yeah. Oh, maybe there. Or maybe there. Okay. All right. Try to get it squared as much as you can. Kind of split the difference there. Let me make sure I've got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that works. That works nicely. So I will carefully press it down so I don't, I'm going to use this. There we go. So I don't get any more ink where I don't want ink. All right, so there we go. There's like the basic construction of this album. So easy, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do, I will be back in just a minute. I'm going to go gather all of my pre-cut papers so that we can save time. You don't need to be watching me cut papers. You know how to do that. So I'm going to go gather all my things. I need to do a little bit more designing and see where I want what, and I'll come back with that in just a few minutes, and we will start decorating this, and it's going to be so pretty. All right, hang tight. All right, I am back, and I have all the bits and pieces that I need to embellish this lovely little journal. I decided to print the cover sheets on cardstock just to give it that much more stability. So these papers, again, are from the Rach and Bella Crafts group. This is the kit that we're to use in our challenge and collaboration. And there's so many pretty papers, and you'll see as I decorate, just kind of glean from all of the pretty papers and just kind of make it work for this project in particular. So I'm going to use these two as my front and back cover, and I made it just a little bit shorter and smaller than the than the chipboard. So it has that nice edge. And just in case you were wondering, it is 5 by 6. Yes, it is. So I am going to, oh, you know what? I didn't cover my glue. I wonder if it's going to behave for me this time. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the cover on. Okay, there we have it. Oh, we're about to have a thunderstorm. So I think you see my lights just flickered. So hopefully that will stay away. So what I did, I pre-cut everything so that you don't have to watch me do that. I cut paper to just, kind of leaving a little bit of a white border as well on here on these pages. And then to cover up this section, because of the bag is so thick, the folds are pretty thick. So I decided to use cardstock to cover this because I'm afraid if I use regular paper, it'll get all wavy and yucky. So, and I'd cut it just a little bit too big, so I'm gonna have to trim all of these just a little bit. But that should not be a problem. Let me get my little cutter here. All right. Let me get the first page set here, and I'm using 28-pound paper. It's a little bit thicker. Again, I didn't want to. I kind of just like the quality, the look for this purpose. I thought this would be the right thickness of paper to put on here. And because I got some ink, oh my goodness, do you hear that thunder? Since I got some of the ink on here, I'm going to use this regular opaque paper to put on here. But I am going to use vellum on some of the other pages because it looks so pretty. So, and then cardstock for this. And if you're using regular paper bags, you may not need to do cardstock because the regular paper bags are the folds are much, more thin. Okay. And then I'm just going to continue doing this with all of these papers. So I will do these on fast forward, and then I will slow back down when I get to the vellum so you can see how I attach that. All right. Okay, so just in case you didn't know, you can't really use regular glue with vellum because it will show through and it will look kind of So, as simple as this may sound, a glue stick I found is the best solution and easiest. I watched a few other videos on what other people thought and how they did it, and honestly, it all seemed too complicated to me. I like things easy, so just good old glue stick. And this is from Staples. This has worked best for me, better than some of the craft brand glue sticks. Easy for me to say. So the Staples glue stick, is absolutely the best has worked for me. So I'm gonna just get my little page here to protect my table because I want to get right to the edge and just get a really good coverage every square inch of it. I don't know. I just think that looks so pretty. I don't know if the video really does it justice, but it looks so pretty. So I will do the same thing for here. All right, kind of work from the middle, get all the bubbles out. Okay, and then for this, I got cardstock. So that's the only vellum I'm going to put on the inside. Well, you know what? I don't know. Maybe not. I was thinking about doing some additional pockets here with vellum. So let's see. I planned a lot of this out, but I'm leaving some for creativity too, because, last minute ideas sometimes are the best, I think. So let's see here. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to put that there. Okay. Now we have the basics. But wait, there's more. So as you see, you've got pockets now, right? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through and cut a little thumb tab here on all of them, okay? So I will do that on fast forward. Okay, so now I have extra pieces of this beautiful paper, and these pockets are where you can slide. Okay, that's a little bit too wide, so I'll just have to do a little trimming. Let me see exactly. On the inside, make it a little bit smaller. I'd say maybe like 4.5. 4.5 by 5.5. Okay. Let me cut these real quick to that dimension, and then we can put them where they need to be. Okay, so I've got these cut appropriately now, where we can slide them in here, and you can do, you know, two per pocket, and these can be beautiful little journal. You know, you could actually make them on cardstock, or maybe put a mat behind them, but these can be lovely journal papers that you just slide in there, or put pictures in there, what have you. So we'll do that for all of these. All right, now I've got some small, whoops, they got buried in all my all my trimmings, but I've got little cards that I printed on cardstock. Yeah. And these cards are more additional journaling things, journaling options. And I don't think, I want to put them like this. They will fit just fine like that. And you can do that. And I mean, look at how much journaling you've got here. So pretty. So pretty. Okay, there we go. So now there's so many pretty pieces of paper left over. I don't want to get rid of them. I may just, continue off camera making some more of these and cutting them down to size. But for the purpose of the tutorial, I will leave it at that. I was thinking about using more vellum. Hang on just a second here. I was thinking about using more vellum to make pockets. And I think that might actually look really neat on just a few pages, Oh, those are the vellum pages, so I think I'll leave them like that. I like that there. Okay, so let me I'm just making this up as I go here. I think I have it backwards. There we go. Okay. So it's about the right length. So I'm just going to trim off just a little bit off the bottom. So again, though, we're going to use the glue stick. Where's my? Oh, here we go. And I think, yeah, okay. Actually, I'm going to cut another little thumb tab before I glue it down, because I think it'll work better that way. Okay. Yeah. All right, so I'm just going to do the three sides. The pretty little pocket with the notes. Oh, I love that. I love it. Okay, awesome. And then we can just put Let me cut this down just a little bit. There you go. Look at that. That's so pretty. Okay, that will work very well. So you can just do that with more vellum. But for our purposes, we're gonna start working on the spine so that you can see the finished product. So I decided to use the same paper that I used for the cover, but I printed it on vellum. So here's a trick. I don't know if you know this, but my printer did not want to acknowledge the vellum paper, so I had to trick it. So if you're having trouble printing on vellum, let me tell you what I did, and hopefully it'll work for you too. I don't know if you can see here, but I had to tape it to regular paper. I've taped it to regular paper and I've taped it to cardstock paper, and they both worked fine. But of course, my printer has like a back feeder. It feeds from the back. So I had to tape the bottom edge that was feeding through the printer and then tape the side just a little bit, not all the way up. So I taped about this much. And then my printer wanted to acknowledge that this paper was there. Because before when I was trying to print, it would just it was print it, it would just shoot it through without printing anything. I thought, what in the world? So I figured out a way to fool it. So if you're having trouble with that, try that. Hopefully that'll work for you. Okay. So what we're going to do, where'd my ruler go? Here we go. I need to clean up my mess. Oh, here's another pretty piece of vellum. Ooh, could make a pocket. Oh yeah, I'm going to be making more vellum pockets. Yep, that's going to happen. All right, but for the spine, I want to go in the tutorial I watched, she said 1.5 inches. And I'm thinking I'm going to go with 1 inch. I feel like that's plenty. I may regret it, but I think that's plenty, and especially because I don't want to cover up this pretty paper. So I'm going to go with 1 inch on each side, right? Okay. And then we need to accommodate the width of the spine itself. So this is 1.5 inches. So we've got 1 inch, 1.5 inches, another inch. So it's going to be 3.5 inches by the height, which is 5.25. So 3.5 by 5.25. Okay. Let me get my big cutter out because this one has better measurements. So now we've got let me show you here. We're going to do 1 inch here and 1 inch here. Okay, and then the rest we're going to score. So having a scoreboard like this is going to be very handy. You don't have to have it. You can always just use a ruler and a bone folder. But I have this, so I'm going to use it. So let me see here. Okay, so here's 1 inch. So I'm going to score that. And then I'm going to come in 1 inch on this end and score that. And the vellum doesn't like to stay put like other paper, so you have to kind of be very diligent with it. Okay, so now I've got I know you can't see on video because I can barely see it here because of the vellum, but I've got my inch going inch here and 1 inch here. So now in the middle, I'm going to score every 1/8 inch. All right. So now, hindsight, I should have maybe done it backwards because it's already wanting to curve, which is great. That's what I want, but I want it to curve the other way. So hang on. I'm going to go ahead and fold it at the 1 inch mark on this side. And like I said, this vellum is pretty hard. It's actually hard to see marks because it's so clear. But I'm going to fold that there. And very gently do that. And then the 1 inch mark here. I don't know if you can hear my dogs barking, but they are. They are my very loud crew. So, okay. So now I'm going to use this to kind of help bend the spine in the other direction. It's wanting to bend, but not in the right direction. Okay. All right. So now let's give this a shot. I'm excited. This is a first for me as well. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm just going to place it here. And yeah, that'll be great. Oh, that'll be great. Okay. So I'm going to use my glue stick. And you do want it to be very, you want it to be in place and stick very well. But this spine is not what's holding it together, as you can see. What we did, the gluing that we did earlier is what's holding it together. So you don't have to worry about this being super duper strong, but you do want it to, be able to handle some wear and tear. But oh goodness, I think that vellum spine is so pretty. Oh my goodness, yes. Okay. And let's do this side. So pretty. But it is tricky. It's a little tricky to handle sometimes. Okay. Okay, I want to make sure it's all squared up. Oh, it's not squared up. Hang on. Okay, there we go. All right, so for some reason, it's hanging over this edge just a little bit. So I'm gonna have to do a little surgery here. Let me see if I can do it without compromising the rest of the... Okay, I think we did it. I think my cutter is a little bit crooked. So, okay. And bend this a little bit. It doesn't have to be curved, but it'll help. So, oh my goodness, look how pretty that is, you guys. Look how pretty with the vellum edge. Oh goodness. Okay. So I think I'm going to add just a little bit of a ribbon, or this is kind of like a velvety ribbon. I think I want to add that. Yes. Just to give the cover a little extra oomph. Don't you know? And I just love this velvet and I love that green. It's kind of an army green. A lot of people don't like it, but I happen to love it. Okay, let me see. And then this will also, I think, stabilize the vellum on the cover just a little bit. It'll give another little something to attach to. Okay, so I'm going to use the E6000 glue to put the ribbon on because the fabric, it soaks up the glue quite a bit. So something like this, I think, will work much, much better. You don't need a whole lot of this because it is powerful glue. Powerful, powerful. But I do want to get the ends and the edges nice. Oh my goodness, guys, what do you think? I think it turned out so pretty with this lovely paper from Rach and Bella Crafts. I believe the kit is called Summer Bloom. So there you have it. A really easy, I know it looks complicated, but you saw how not complicated it is. Anyone can do this. This is so fun, so fun. And I'm going to keep embellishing this a little bit more and finish it up a little bit. But now you guys have seen what can be done. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me. And please take a look at the Linktree link for Rach and Bella that will have all of the collaborators and all of the YouTubers that have been joining in this collaboration. And everyone has done such a wonderful job so far. I think you will be able to really enjoy and learn some things. And you'll also be able to get your hands on this beautiful kit as well. All right. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. Have a great day.